China is betting that U.S. President Donald Trump won't make good on his threats of a military strike against North Korea, with Beijing continuing to provide a lifeline to Kim Jong-un's regime. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson singled out China and Russia as economic enablers of North Korea after Kim on Friday test-fired an intercontinental ballistic missile for the second time in a matter of weeks. While Tillerson said the U.S. wants a peaceful resolution to the tensions, the top American general called his South Korean counterpart after the launch to discuss a potential military response. China on Saturday condemned the latest test while calling for restraint from all parties, a muted reaction to Pyongyang's progress on an ICBM capable of hitting the U.S. mainland. Despite Kim's provocations, analysts said Beijing still sees the collapse of his regime as a more immediate strategic threat, and doubts Trump would pull the trigger given the risk of a war with North Korea that could kill millions. The military option the Americans are threatening won't likely happen because the stakes will be too high, said Lu Ming, director of the Korean Peninsula Research Center at the Shanghai Academy of Social Sciences. It's a pretext and an excuse to pile up pressure on China. It's more like blackmail than a realistic option. Relations between the world's biggest economies have soured after an initial honeymoon between Trump and President Xi Jinping. The U.S. last month sanctioned a regional Chinese bank, a shipping company and 2 Chinese citizens over dealings with North Korea, which could be a precursor to greater economic and financial pressure on Beijing to rein in its neighbor. Read more. The options for dealing with North Korea. Trump has expressed periodic public frustration with Beijing over the pace of its efforts to curtail Kim. On Saturday, he again linked China's actions to the broader U.S.-China trade relationship. North Korea isn't backing down. I am very disappointed in China, he said in a series of Twitter posts. Our foolish past leaders have allowed them to make hundreds of billions of dollars a year in trade, yet they do nothing for us with North Korea, just talk. We will no longer allow this to continue. China could easily solve this problem. Hours later, she called on China to speed up its military modernization, telling troops at an army parade that the world isn't safe at this moment. A strong army is needed now more than ever, he said, without specifically addressing North Korea or Trump's comments. China's biggest fears related to North Korea remain a collapse of Kim's regime that sparks a protracted refugee crisis, and a beefed-up U.S. military presence on its border. Losing patience, it has repeatedly called for both sides to step back, proposing the U.S. halt military drills in the region and North Korea freeze weapons tests. The U.S. has dismissed that proposal, saying North Korea must first be willing to discuss rolling back its nuclear program. On Saturday, the U.S. announced that 2 Air Force B-1B bombers conducted bilateral exercises with
Let it go.